Hello viewers, welcome back to another session. Today we are going to discuss about a very interesting session on enhancing positive psychology for mental health. In this particular topic, there are a few objectives. The first objective is to understand what exactly we mean by positive psychology and its relationship with mental health. And also it is very essential, as part of the objective of the topic is concerned, to know and understand the various characteristics of a mentally healthy person. And the third important objective could be how to enhance the various life enhancement strategies in order to prevent from mental health problems. So let us start with the basic introduction of what exactly we understand by positive psychology. Positive psychology is a recent branch of psychology, and there is an important research that is being taking place for the past 20 years, and there are two important people here to discuss about positive psychology. The first person is Martin Seligman and the second person is Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. So these are the two important individuals who have been working with positive psychology related concepts. Positive psychology is a recent science which discusses about the way to good life. When we say good life, it is the positive aspects of the individual. Now, especially Seligman has asserted that there are certain human strengths which helps in the individual to deal with various mental illnesses. So, what are these various strengths? Let us see. Positive psychology especially discusses about the subjective experience. When we say subjective experiences, it is the individual experiences. We cannot generalize certain emotional or social or psychological experiences to each and every individual, but they are subjective in nature. Therefore, positive psychology is at the subjective experience of the individuals, which deals with well-being, contentment, satisfaction and happiness, and also hope and optimism for the future. Apart from all these factors, there are also another important aspects of positive psychology that talks about perseverance, courage and optimism, which helps an individual to go through his life. Therefore, the aim of positive psychology is to strengthen the various positive aspects and also manage the weaknesses in the individuals. The basic goal of positive psychology, according to Martin Seligman, is to understand the various weaknesses of the individual and work towards optimism and hope and perseverance, so that these mental illnesses can be dealt effectively through positive psychology. And there is a huge amount of research that is being conducted in terms of depression, wherein treatment methods vary from different approaches, and in particular positive psychology approach has been effective in dealing with depression. Positive psychology can be discussed in two different levels. One is the individual level, the second is the group level. When we talk about positive psychology at the individual level, it refers to the individual's courage, the individual's assertive skills and interpersonal skills and all other factors, personality factors related to the individual. And this also includes spirituality and mindfulness and high talent and also wisdom that talks about the individual in particular. Therefore, various essential important personal characteristics are also attributed in the positive psychology at the individual level. Say for example, if an individual is suffering from a particular illness, it is very important that the individual's personality in terms of positive mindedness, in terms of high talents, in terms of a visionary, in terms of a very good social support and interpersonal skills help the individual in early recovery or delayed illness. Therefore, it is important that positive psychology has a major role at the individual levels. And now we talk about the positive psychology at the group level. It is very important that the civic virtues which are concerned in the social world are very essential, and there are certain institutions where the individuals move towards citizenship. The individuals need to be accepted and even the society needs to accept the individual. So, there is a need of coherence between the individual as well as the social groups. There is a need to group cohesiveness. There is a need to understand one another in the society. Therefore, positive psychology is also essential at the group levels. Here, we are going to discuss about the various characteristics of a mentally healthy person according to Erich Fromm, and this has been a research that has developed, and during the year 1955 Erich Fromm and various other associates have worked in order to define mental health. Here Erich Fromm defines who is a mentally healthy person. Now he says the mental health of an individual is something to do with love and to create. Very interesting concept that he has developed is mentally healthy person can be described as a person who is able to love and who is able to create concepts in his own way. Therefore, during the same period there is another important personality who talked about mental health is Jahoda, Mary Jahoda in the year 1958, and this person characterized mental health as a positive emotion and a positive condition that is driven by the person's individual as well as group characteristics, especially the psychological resources are concerned. When we talk about psychological resources, there are certain dimensions and domains that talks about the individual's psychological factors. Now, according to Mary Jahoda, the mentally healthy person is described in various ways. Let us see one by one. The first concept is the personal attitude. When we say personal attitude, the individual's psychological readiness. Now, when we say individual psychological readiness, it is the individual's immediate behaviors, the individual's likes and dislikes, the individual's favorable attitudes or the individual's unfavorable attitudes. All these comes under the individual's personal attitudes factors. Therefore, the first important characteristic of a mentally healthy person is the personal attitude. And when you say personal attitude, this includes the individual's self-acceptance. Now, any individual if you take, it is important that the individual should accept oneself. Whether the individual is suffering from an illness, he should accept that he has that illness. If an individual is having problem with the relationship, he should also accept that there is some problem with the individual as well as with the family member as well. So, there is a need to accept oneself, which also includes as a personal attitude of the individual. Now, in continuation with self acceptance, it is also important that the self esteem of the individual is required. When you say self esteem, it is the individual's unique potentialities. When you say unique potentialities, there are certain skills where the individual is equipped. Therefore, when we say the individual's personal attitudes, it is not only the self acceptance, but it is also the individual's self esteem, where he is having a potential ability. In addition to this, the accuracy of self perception. Now, how exactly is the individual is able to perceive the environment? How effective is the individual is able to perceive the situations around him is also another important psychological characteristics of a mentally healthy person. We go to the second important characteristic of mentally healthy person according to Mary Jahoda, that is the pursuit of one's potentials. It is very clear that every individual possesses some amount of abilities. Therefore, some people need to be emphasize that they are having certain potentialities in them, but some people have imbibed certain potentialities within, or these potentialities can be inborn. Therefore, it is very important that an individual's potentialities should be known to him. The third important characteristic of a mentally healthy person is the individual's focused drives. When we say drives, it is the intense need of the individual to fulfill a particular task, for which it needs focus. Therefore, many individuals are motivated, but motivation does not include the individual's aim, but the focus is also required. Therefore, any individual who wants to achieve something in life, it is very important that he should have certain focus drives which helps him to achieve. Another important characteristic of a mentally healthy person is that he should have an identity and values that contribute to self or autonomy. So, every individual should possess certain value system in his life. Values are very, very essential in an individual's life, and there is a need for the individual to develop his own identity. Therefore, these two important factors contribute a sense of autonomy in the individual, where he performs certain tasks on his own. It is very, very important for a mentally healthy person that he should have his identity, also certain value systems which are imbibed from the family, from his learning environment, which helps him to go through certain decisions on his own. For a mentally healthy person, another important characteristic is that the individual should have certain world percepts that are accurate and are not distorted because of subjective needs. Some people are in a thinking that they have certain knowledge, but the world is not accepting them. So, these subjective needs are supposed to be distorted, and it is very essential that an individual should go with the world percepts, how the world is, and then he should be able to adopt himself into the world percepts. The last important characteristic of a mentally healthy person, which is very, very interesting, is that the individual should have a mastery of the environment. Now, when we say the mastery of environment, it is the love, it is the work and play, and these three have a major role to play in an individual's life. Therefore, an individual person who is mentally healthy should be able to master these three domains. We are going to talk about how to increase happiness in an individual's life. Now, happiness is a subjective experience. Now, we cannot say that if a person is successful in his life, can we say that he is happy? No. Therefore, it is very essential that success is different from happiness. Therefore, in order to be happy, what are the things to be considered? How an individual should be happy? This has a major role in the individual's mental health factors, because when you are talking about positive psychology, it is the happiness, it is the hope, it is the well-being, it is the social well-being, it is the emotional well-being, which is very, very important. Today, in this particular happiness related topic, we are going to discuss about a great person who has developed various criteria of being happy. Is the person called David Mayers, and he has developed certain factors which are essential for an individual to be happy in life, and this research has been conducted in the year 1993. Let us see various aspects of happiness which are essential in an individual's life, and these are also called as life enhancement strategies, or which helps in boosting the happiness of the individual. The first one is realize that enduring happiness does not come from success. As I have mentioned earlier that success can never be happiness. Success is a different aspect and happiness is a subjective experience. Therefore, it is very important that one should be able to realize that enduring happiness does not come from success. So, if you see people who are successful, you can go and ask them if they are happy or not. You may get the right answer from them. So, therefore, happiness is a subjective experience. And what is most important is a healthy person happy or is a wealthy person happy? So, it also differs from an individual subjective experience. Wealthy person may not be happy, but a healthy person may definitely be a happy person. The second important life enhancement strategy or the booster that can enhance your happiness is take control of your time. Now, everyone has the same amount of time, and how best the individual is able to manage the time is in the control of the individual himself. Therefore, happy people are those who feel in control of their time. Now, they are the people who best manage their time at work, they best manage at play, they best manage at relationship, they have the ability to manage time even with the family members. Therefore, it is very important that an individual should be able to control his time. The third important and very interesting life enhancement factor is act happy. Even if you are not happy, it has been said that even if you act happy, that itself is making you happy. That means smiling expression. Even if you have sorrows in your heart, but still you can smile. This expression gives you a sense of happiness within yourself that need not be an actual happiness, but you can act that you are happy. So, it is also another life enhancement booster to make yourself happy by acting happy. So, put on a happy face most of the time and talk as if you feel very positive about your self-esteem and you are very optimistic and you are outgoing. Another important life enhancement booster is leisure. How many of us have leisure, and during the leisure what do we do? Therefore, it is essential that one should seek leisure and also engage in various skills that gives you happiness. So, it is very important that one should have work and also one should have the leisure, and he should be able to utilize both these and also be happy in engaging oneself in the leisure activities. What could be the various leisure activities? It is all important that the individual should be able to possess certain hobbies from the childhood. So, if you are interested in gardening, if you are interested in reading, or if you are interested in creating some music, it is all the individual's interests and hobbies that can help during the leisure activities. The fifth important life enhancement is exercise. Many of us do exercise, and it is all interested that how the individual is able to take up different exercises in terms of aerobic or yoga or walking. So, exercise should be a part of an individual's life, which is also a booster for happiness. And the most important aspect is the sleep. The sleep factor is very essential. Give your body the amount of sleep that it requires. So, it is very important that the sleep is an essential important physiological need, but at the same time the sufficient amount of sleep also helps the individual to rejuvenate and also perform better in various work related activities. The seventh important life enhancement strategy or the booster is give priority to your close relations. Now, intimate friendship is very essential criteria in order to enhance the individual's happiness, and it is very important that intimate friends with those who care deeply about the individual also helps to withstand in the time of distress. Therefore, it is very important that every individual should be able to give priority to close friendships and intimate relations. The eighth important life enhancement booster is that focus beyond the self. When we say focus beyond the self, that means you are reaching to the other person in terms of in need of help. It is very important that every individual needs some amount of help from different people. So, it is important that you have to go beyond yourself and then approach to people who are in need. Therefore, this helps in proactive skills also. It helps in sense of satisfaction that you are helpful to somebody. It is like doing good makes you feel good. So, it is very important that you should be able to help the other person. Another important life enhancement strategy is keep a gratitude journal. We are thankful to many people in our lives, maybe in terms of parents, teachers, friends, life partner, close intimate relations, children. So, even in the work related environment. So, it is important that you should be grateful and you should be able to show the gratitude towards each other. Therefore, being grateful is also an important life enhancement strategies. We should be able to remember people who have done good for you, who have done a lot of good things for you. The 10th important life enhancement strategy is that nurture your spiritual self. When we say spiritual self, it is focusing beyond self, being religious, and it is also confirmed that people who are religious have decreased amount of mental health problems. Therefore, some people are interested in religious related activities and they are considered to be the happier people when you compare with non-religious people. In addition to these life enhancement strategies, there are also additional tips that can help an individual to enhance his life. Therefore, let us see these three important domains that were discussed earlier also, but I would like to emphasize more on this. Now, here we are going to discuss about three important domains of an individual's life which can help and which has a role to play in the enhancement of their life. So, before I begin with these three domains, I would also like to emphasize here that there are certain important factors in addition to this. But before this, it is important that the emotional experiences of the individual are of great importance, because the pleasant emotional experiences and happiness and well-being have a major role to play in their life enhancement. So, it is the positive experiences, it is the individual's pleasant experiences, and also the happiness and the overall well-being in the life of the individual has a major role to play. But there are three important ingredients which can enhance all these pleasant emotional experiences, happiness and well-being in the individual's life. We will start with the first important domain, that is love. Now, for a person, this particular important psychological phenomenon is love, and how are you going to express your love? It is very important. So, be with people and surround yourself with happy people. It is how your love is going to enhance. Therefore, if you surround with a happy individual, it is always happy, it is always pleasant for you. And the individuals, happy people are positive people. Now, this positive affect and emotions will definitely enhance the individual's quality of life and well-being. Therefore, they also, people who are happy, people who have positive emotions can have a major role, especially in your life when you have distress. The second important domain is work. Now, it is very essential that every individual have to work, and when you work, you have to deal with boss, you have to deal with your subordinates, and you also have to deal with the nature of work that you do. Therefore, you have to be able to manage effectively in the work situations, especially the peer related activities, the group cohesiveness, all these understandings are very, very essential. And here I would like to focus that any work related activity, there is a meeting that is conveyed in the offices. So, it is very important that in every meeting the individual should be able to start with positive comments, but usually it may not take place because of various cultural factors, various personality factors of the individuals who are heading the institutions or offices. Therefore, it is important for an individual to enhance the life in terms of work related domains, where it should be able to start with a positive comment in the work related task. When you approach in a positive aspect, this has a major role in facilitating a very productive discussions and a very mutual and understanding relationship among the peer groups, and also it gives a way to creative related activities also. Therefore, starting your day, starting the work, starting the meeting with a positive comments has a basic productive outcome. The third and the last important domain to enhance an individual's life is play. I really wonder, hardly any individual, especially adults, they hardly play. They feel that play is only meant for the child, but it is a wrong notion, and it is very important that an individual across the individual's lifespan, the play is very, very essential from beginning to childhood to old age, and it is how productive the individual is able to engage his leisure is very, very essential. Therefore, it is advised or it is suggested that engage in a particular favorite play which gives you more happiness. It may be gardening, it may be reading, it may be listening to music, or it may be an indoor game, or it may be an outdoor game, but it is very important that the individual should engage in a play activity. And in addition to play activities, it is important to relax. How an individual relax is the individual's adopting and coping styles which are important. Some people relax in terms of music, some people relax by lying on the bed, some people try to take a break in the work related. Therefore, the relaxation is also important criteria which can also be a part of play in the individual's life. Let us conclude. Today we have discussed about the various aspects of enhancing the individual's mental health and the role of positive psychology. And positive psychology is a recent branch of psychology which discusses about the individual's positive aspects in terms of happiness, the positive emotions are concerned, and how these positive emotions have a major role to play in enhancing the individual's quality of life and various life enhancement strategies. We have also observed that there are certain techniques of enhancing the individual's happiness in terms of personal characteristics, in terms of personal attitudes, in terms of creativity, in terms of being grateful to individuals, and also there are many other life skills which have a major role in enhancing the individual's mental health. Therefore, the role of positive psychology has an utmost priority in enhancing the individual's life.